This section introduces global logistics and trade compliance. We'll explore how goods move across international borders through air, sea, and land transport. The chapter explains the basics of global logistics, key processes, and why compliance is essential for smooth global trade. Sets the foundation for understanding the global supply chain and regulatory requirements. This chapter introduces the basics of global logistics, how goods, information, and money move across international borders. Global logistics involves planning, executing, and controlling these flows efficiently. Key components include international transport, customs clearance, and proper documentation. It also requires compliance with global laws and standards, plus coordination with many partners like suppliers, ports, freight forwarders, and banks. Overall, the goal is smooth, timely, and compliant international movement of goods. Global logistics is vital because it allows businesses to reach international markets and reduce costs through global sourcing. It improves competitiveness and supports national initiatives like Make in India and export growth. It also helps maintain supply chain stability during disruptions. The application shows how global logistics works in real life: design in one country, manufacturing in another, components sourced worldwide, and final distribution through global hubs. This slide explains the main international transportation modes. Ocean freight is low cost and supports large volumes but moves slowly, best for bulk cargo and containers. Air freight is fast but expensive, used for high-value or urgent goods. Rail freight offers moderate cost and is eco-friendly, commonly used on Eurasian routes. Road transport is essential for last-mile and cross-border trucking. Multimodal transport combines multiple modes under one document, ideal for global e-commerce and export logistics. This slide explains containerization, which transformed global shipping through standardized 20 feet and 40 feet containers. These containers allow easy transfers between ships, trains, and trucks without unloading cargo, making transport faster, more secure, and easier to track. The mini case study shows how DHL used multimodal transport for Siemens wind turbines using sea, rail, and road. This optimized the supply chain, cutting lead time by 25% and reducing costs by 12%. This slide highlights the key factors that influence freight costs in international transportation. Cost varies based on the distance and route, the weight-to-volume ratio, and the assigned freight class. Additional costs come from port handling, customs charges, and insurance or documentation fees. Together, these elements determine the total shipping cost for global movement of goods. This slide introduces Incoterms, which are international rules defining who is responsible for costs, responsibilities, and risks in global trade. These terms are published by the ICC and help buyers and sellers avoid confusion. Their main purpose is to standardize trade language, clarify who pays for what, and clearly identify the point where risk transfers from seller to buyer. This slide covers the most commonly used Incoterms and where the seller's responsibility ends for each term. EXW, buyer handles the entire transport from the seller's premises. FOB, seller delivers until goods are loaded on the vessel at the origin port. SIF, seller pays for cost, insurance, and freight up to the destination port. DDP, seller carries the maximum responsibility, delivers to buyer's warehouse with duty paid. DAP, seller delivers to buyer's location but buyer pays import duties. The mini case study shows how an Indian auto exporter saved 8% by switching from CIF to FOB, gaining more control over freight contracts. This slide explains how companies choose the most suitable Incoterm. The decision depends on factors like the buyer's logistics capability, the strength of the trade relationship, and how much risk each party is willing to take. Cost and insurance responsibilities also play a big role in deciding which Incoterm provides the best balance of control, cost, and safety. This slide explains the key roles of customs in international trade. Customs makes sure all imports and exports follow legal regulations, performs security checks, and collects duties and taxes. They also support faster trade movement through digital systems like IceGate and SWIFT, making documentation and approvals more efficient. This slide lists the key export documents required in international trade. Each document serves a specific purpose, from the commercial invoice showing sales details to the packing list and the bill of lading, airway bill, which acts as both a transport contract and proof of shipment. Other documents like the Certificate of Origin, Insurance Certificate, and Letter of Credit ensure compliance, risk coverage, and financial security. Finally, the Export Declaration is a mandatory customs filing. The case study highlights how digitization via IceGate helped a textile exporter cut clearance time dramatically from 4 days to just 12 hours. This slide covers the key documents required during imports. Importers must file a bill of entry, pay the necessary customs duties, and obtain an import license if the product category requires it. Items like pharmaceuticals and food also need quality and compliance certificates to meet safety standards. These documents ensure smooth customs clearance and legal compliance. This slide gives an overview of trade compliance in global business. Compliance ensures companies follow both local and international trade laws, including anti-dumping rules, sanctions, and embargoes. It also covers export controls for sensitive or dual-use items and makes sure goods are correctly valued and classified using HS codes. Overall, trade compliance protects companies from legal penalties and ensures safe, lawful cross-border trade. This slide highlights the key regulatory bodies that govern trade compliance across different regions. In India, authorities like DGFT, CBIC, and RBI oversee export-import rules. In the USA, compliance is managed by BIS, OFAC, and CBP. In the EU, regulatory control comes from the European Commission and CE marking agencies. At the global level, organizations like WTO, WCO, and ICC set international standards. The case study shows how a pharma exporter's shipment was delayed due to a missing EU GMP certificate, but strengthening documentation later reduced such detentions by 90%. This slide explains the consequences of non-compliance in international trade. Failing to follow regulations can lead to heavy fines, seizure of goods, or even blacklisting of the exporter. It also damages the company's reputation and may result in the cancellation or revocation of licenses. Overall, non-compliance can severely disrupt a business's ability to operate globally. This slide highlights the major challenges affecting today's global supply chains. Issues like port congestion, trade wars, and currency fluctuations create delays and increase costs. Tariff changes, pandemic disruptions, and rising ESG expectations further complicate global operations. These challenges require companies to stay adaptable and build more resilient supply chains. This slide covers key strategies to reduce global supply chain risks. Companies can diversify suppliers, build regional hubs, improve visibility through digital tools, maintain buffer stock, and use insurance or hedging to handle uncertainties. The Toyota case study shows how shifting to a regional resilience model using dual sourcing and regional logistics hubs helped them cut disruption-related losses by 40% after COVID. This slide highlights how technology strengthens global supply chains. Digital trade platforms like Tradalens and IceGate speed up documentation. Blockchain improves transparency, AI provides early risk alerts, and EDI enables seamless document exchange. Together, these tools make supply chains faster, safer, and more efficient.